Okay, in this part of scaling, we're going to be going over recording and reusing the information. This is something I alluded to at many times throughout the course, but it definitely deserves its own segment to talk about this because it's very, very important. As we go through this course and learn and begin to implement everything, it is highly, highly recommended to record and reuse. What that means is record the lessons you learn, the checklists, the takeaways, the systems, the procedures, the processes, and reuse them when it's time to scale. One of two things is going to happen. These are literally the only two options. One, we're either going to go through this whole course, get our first unit, start making some money, and begin to scale. At that point, you're going to realize everything you learned and everything you know, you now need to put in a format where you can provide it to others so they can know and do that as well, up to your expectations, up to your standards, and do it properly. So you will mentally have to go back and begin working on the checklists, the operating manuals, the best practices, the frequently asked questions, so you can onboard your VA or put resources in place so you can continue to scale. That's one option. Option two is where you do this from the beginning. You do this from the beginning as you're learning for the purpose of not having to go back and do double the work when it is time to scale. This is why you're going to want to record up front so you can reuse later. Record up front so that you can reuse later. This is obviously the better method for multiple reasons. First, you will learn more on the way up. If you are recording all of your learnings as you go, you will, one, retain the information better, and in the process of recording and reflecting on this information, you will actually learn more than you did without the recording or reflection period. Next, you will not remember everything. It's impossible. You're not going to remember everything. For you to try to go back in your mind and remember all the lessons, the nuances, the tips and tricks to pass on to your team after days, weeks, or even months, it is obviously a less effective method of recording information than recording it as it happens. Trust me on this one, as I made the latter decision without even knowing it. I got to the point where I needed to hire people. I wanted to bring people on, and I'm like, I don't have anything recorded. I don't have my frequently asked questions listed so I can give it to my VA. I don't have a standard operating procedure. I don't have a manual. I don't have all this information because I didn't record it. And then I had to go back, think from day one, what was I doing on day one? What was I doing at the beginning of this business? And re-record everything from scratch. And then as obviously I started to move forward, I started to record as I started to move forward so I can reuse it when the time comes. Because obviously I'm not going to continue to make that mistake once I realized it. But I didn't realize it at first. And for 4 months, I was running this business without recording all these things that would have made my life so much easier for the last 2 months, right? Record it up front. When the time comes, you're going to have everything in an organized manner, and you're going to look like a rock star. You're going to feel like a rock star because you're going to have everything there. And you're going to be able to scale much quicker. I could have had better communication systems much sooner if I did that. I would have made it a point from day one to record all questions that any guest asks and put it into a frequently asked questions link that automatically gets sent out with the check-in instructions. Time is money. Take these scars that I accumulated from burning my hand on the stove and making these mistakes in this business and use them to your advantage in a way that allows you to accomplish your goals faster than I did. Like I said, it took me 4 months to put a frequently asked questions link into my check-in instructions. Now, that link is a live link. Anyone can click on it and go there, and I can update it anytime. Any new question I get, I add it to my frequently asked questions link. And I put a read-only link in the check-in instructions. So in addition to the check-in instructions, in addition to the house rules, in addition to everything else that gets sent out with the check-in instructions, there's a link for frequently asked questions that they can go to and they can see. I also put the frequently asked questions in my listing as well because people don't know how to read. And a lot of the times, even if the information is right there, they're just not going to read it and they're going to ask you the question anyway, which is kind of frustrating, but that's how people operate. So point I'm making here is make sure you're doing this right up front. And this is literally one of the most important tips you can have because it's going to save you so much time and energy down the line. And it's literally going to help you get to where you want to go so much faster. When you write something down, there's over 60,000 neural pathways that you're building that are correlating with whatever it is you're writing down. Just by writing down these lessons, you get a question or, you're you're realizing, oh, it would be good if I did this for my units. If you write that down and instead of just thinking about it, you're going to remember it more, you're going to take away more from it, and you're going to understand it more. A lot of the times, just in writing down the thing that you're thinking, you come out with new cognitions and new realizations. So it's very, very important that you're doing this up front. It's going to save you so much time. And if you do this up front with everything that I went over in this course, I have no doubt in my mind, you're going to win, you're going to succeed, and you're going to scale, and you're going to scale this thing big because you're not leaving any stone unturned, you're crossing your T's, you're dotting your I's, and you're doing all the things that you should do. Remember what I said, your standards are doing the things that you should do. Doing the things that you should do is your standards. If you have high standards, all the things you should do, you do. If you have low standards, then all the things you should do, you say, oh, well, I know I should do that, but it's not that important. You're basically saying, I don't have high standards. I don't care that much. Don't have low standards. Have high standards. Everything that you should do, you must do. And if you have that mindset with this, then you will absolutely record and reuse, and you will absolutely be much better off than everybody who is not recording and reusing the lessons, the information, the questions that they get asked. I'll see you guys on the next lesson. And at this point, you're really ready to get out there and take off and start winning. So I'm very, very excited for you. We're going to go over a few more things about how you can make money in this business without putting up any money, which is huge. I know a lot of you have been waiting for that this whole course. How can I make money without spending money? We're going to show you how to do that in the next slide. I'll see you guys there.